So we've had some discussion this week about education and fully funding education, and proposals have been made. Viewers want to know what the status is of what I used to call K through 12 education. I guess we now say pre-K through 12 education. Senator Abel, start with you and go to Senator Hoffman.
Well, it's been a really hard time. Unfortunately, I'm back on the Education Policy Committee, not the Finance Committee. But schools are still reeling from the effects of COVID, and students are as well. And there are students who are, in many cases, a year behind in their reading and their math, particularly some of the first, second, and third graders. And I'm greatly concerned about what is going to happen there. The governor has proposed a very large package, which some say fully funds education, which um, that term is not defined very well, but it's certainly a good influx, which could help. But the key is how you spend it. And so, how can we find ways to reach into these students, families, and homes, and their educational process to get them back on track? And I don't know why we haven't held back more of those students, because we would pay for them, and they could experience second grade a second time, and maybe get back on track. In most cases, we're not doing that, but that's part of the debate. Senator Hoffman probably knows more about the money part.
Senator Hoffman.
It's interesting that the conversation that Jim Abeler brings up. There was a debate years ago about the age 5 kindergarten. It was like, why were we pushing kids so fast to get into first grade, Jim? Remember that? It's almost the same thing. And
Yeah.
and when people talk about closing the achievement gap, there were certain districts that figured out how to do that. I don't know. There's one in Jim's backyard that closed the achievement gap by doing, a compensatory education model that worked well, right?
That's the largest school district in the state?
Yeah, I think it's the largest, Jim, like 41,000
okay.
students. They're right, Anoka, Hennepin. So, but what you're hearing, Judge, that districts are now experiencing is this behavioral health piece, and I'm talking the umbrella behavioral health, both the substance use and the mental health side of it, that is overwhelming the ability to teach. And going to Jim Abler's point that kids fell behind, well, they also socially fell behind. So what are we doing with that? I brought a bill this past week, Jim, that was to increase school counselors, believe it or not, and increase school psychologists. Yes, indeed, right? Those are all billable services to Medicaid, Judge, that shouldn't cost people any more than what it is, because they're able to recoup those funds because they're medically related services. But in the school counselor side of it, we still rank terrible. We have one counselor to Jim. I think you probably saw that. Is it still 650 or something?
I think so, yeah.
Students? Yeah, and it's just like not okay. So if you're going to say you want to address or fix a system, you got to look at the whole system, Judge. And so I'm glad Abler's sitting in policy to address that. And I don't know what we're going to do financially.